Good morning, fellow Toastmasters.
Good morning.
And dear guests. Today I am going to talk about spices. Now, why this topic? A few weeks ago, I went to Costco and I was walking down the aisle when I saw this product. It said turmeric. And I was like, turmeric? Turmeric is a very ingrained part of our food, Indian food. And basically, I have eaten turmeric in every meal I have ever eaten Indian food. So I wondered why it's in a pill form and why are they selling it. So that also grabbed my attention. And it costed like 40 bucks and I was like, wow, that's a loot. So then I did some research to find out why it is important. So why should you care? So if you don't realize, the whole world structure is somehow related to spice and where spice was found. So shape of the current world, if you look at the colonization of India, of US, people were looking for spices. In fact, like even for US, Christopher Columbus was looking for Indies. He landed in another location, that's all we know. But one of the key drivers was spices. Slave trades. Initially when explorers were again visiting, they were not looking for finding people to be masters of. They were basically looking for for spices. And then they figured out they could probably do other kind of trades as well. And in fact, around the world, spice wars, there's a term called spice wars, where different countries, Dutch, the English, the Spanish, the Portuguese were fighting to dominate the spice business, because spice was money during that time. So all of this has driven, or spice has driven a lot of how the world was colonized, how different countries went to different locations. Spanish settlers went to South America, British and Dutch and Portuguese, even Spanish went to India and they had different colonies there. So you should care about it. Now, what are spices? Spices are nothing but toxins, which are used by plants for their own defense. Now, plants are eaten by animals as well as they can get infected by bacteria and fungi. So, plant as their own defense, they secrete out toxins so as to deter animals as well as to push out any bacteria and viruses which could impact them. So it's a defense mechanism for the vegetables to safeguard them. Now, why humans eat it? If it's a toxin, food storage. Now, in the early days of mankind, humans had a problem. They could kill or they could gather food, but they could not store it because bacteria and fungi would attack those foods. So they thought and they figured out that, see, these plants are able to defend themselves from fungi and bacteria. What can we take from them? They realized that spices are the thing which are helping plants defend those attacks. And why don't we use them or incorporate them as part of our food? So they started using spices to coat their food and make them last longer. Of course, food was bland. Just imagine you are living in Britain in the year 1200, right? The only thing you know about is chicken and salt, and that's all you eat. There is no pepper. It's bland food from day one you are born till the day you die. You can't taste anything else. I would kill myself. So the importance of spice was grown, and food scarcity. Now, in places where if food was scarce, and if you could not preserve it, then it caused further food scarcity, because during the time of hunting and gathering, you would not be able to store food. Food would get spoiled, and then it will limit the amount of food population has. In fact, even in the places where the spice is used, over time humans evolved to be able to resist or be tolerant for more levels of spices. And the people who could not tolerate were weeded out as part of Darwin's survival of the fittest. Now, why is food spicy in some areas versus others? So if you look at this graph, mostly in the equatorial belt, food is spicy. So Mexico, South America, middle parts of Africa, some parts of Middle East, and then Southeast Asia. All of this portions you'll find the food is spicy. Why is it spicier there? That's because in tropics, the chances of bacterial and fungal infection is very high. Because of the climate, you have humid, arid climate where plants, food can get spoiled very easily. Hence, all of these areas, the plants available there have those toxins to counter those, and hence the spices develop. And again, many places, different mixtures, different types of mixture of spices were used to combat different type of bacterial infection and bacteria and organisms. Key spices from the Indian subcontinent: basil, turmeric, pepper. And if you have had Indian curries, chicken curry for example, it has a mixture of all these spices: black and white peppercorns, cloves, cinnamon, mace, black and green cardamom, bay leaf, cumin, coriander, and it's basically a mixture which goes into the chicken and they cook it. Oops. Now there are benefits of spices. Turmeric. Turmeric is known for, it has a component called curcumin, and it's proven to have health benefits such as heart disease, prevent heart diseases, Alzheimer's, cancer, and again I don't know if it is proven or not, but at least in the traditional medicines they are used for these kind of benefits. Basil has a lot of gastrointestinal benefits. Black pepper is used to promote digestion, help with nutrient absorption, etc. in arthritis and enhancing the skin. So, in summary, spices have set the world order as a causal factor for languages and cultures to be spread out. Spices have made our food tastier, and spices have helped us fight health issues and infections. So, the lesson learned for today is go and have some spicy food. Thank you.